This is the 2024 F900GS Adventure model. And today, we're going to give it our first impressions. So I am riding this bike directly after riding the brand new 24 GS 1300. And this is the Adventure model. That was not, but we're going to see what they feel like back to back. So far, they look just about the same size. This one might actually be a little bit bigger. The seat looks very comfortable. You get a rack here as well, a nice size passenger seat. And overall look, it looks massive. Even though this is only a 900, the fairings stick out a lot on the sides. This is not a boxer style engine. The 1300 was. Dual disc in the front, single disc in the rear, chain drive. One thing I noticed right away is the rider pegs and the back brake. No rubber on these foot pegs. I don't like that. Handguards, small windscreen. All right, so they do feel different. The 1300 feels longer, like the tank and dash are further away. The handlebars maybe slightly more narrow, just by feel, but they feel good. It's not a bad thing. The foot position feels about the same. The fairing's definitely wider, like I said. The mirrors, they look to be the same exact mirrors. 6'4" on this bike, and I'm comfortable. The dash display, exactly the same. This does have crash bars. I don't know if those come stock. Handguards here, GPS mount there. This has these small windshield blockers, just like the 1300. And I'm flat-footing comfortably on both sides. No problem at all. The riding position feels comfortable. Again, straight up and down, not too cramped on the legs. This does not have the blind spot detection. Now, even though this does have metal foot pegs instead of rubber, the passengers still has nice big rubber foot pegs. All right, that's enough talking. Let's go ride it.
All right, this is the 2024 F900 Adventure. So far, vibration during idle. Not bad. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not bad at all. A little bit in the foot pegs. Remember, there's no rubber on these foot pegs. This does have a little bit more grit, a little bit more sound to it. I feel like you're going to be able to feel the engine through the handlebars more than the 1300.
The engine feels a little different. This is a parallel twin. The 13 was a boxer. There's still plenty of power when you want it. So vibration while riding. There is still vibration when you ride. It doesn't smooth out. So the pickup on this is a little bit slower. It gets there, but it gets there just a touch slower. Handlebars, great. Seating position and foot pegs, they feel great. I'm 6'4", don't feel cramped at all. Shifting feels very smooth. The Quick Shift Assist Pro is not that great. Downshifting is better than upshifting by a lot. Turning on this bike, very confidence inspiring. Don't buy this bike for the Quick Shift Assist. It's not that good. Shifting with a clutch is 10 million times better. Shifting on this is smooth, the clutch is nice and light. The brakes on this are not too touchy. You don't have to squeeze a ton. They're perfect. The levers on all these BMWs are great. The foot pegs, even though there's no rubber on the rider foot pegs, there's not that much vibration. I was expecting more. I would say this is a good bike. It's got got plenty of power. It fits me very well at 6'4". I'm not too cramped. My feet might be a little bit higher than I would prefer, but it would just be a touch higher.
The brakes are great. The acceleration is great. It's nice and smooth, very controlled. Even this feels large for an adventure bike. Again, I see at the point where you could use this both as a touring bike to get to an adventure, and then
when you go off-road, you have the capability. I get it. But the bike itself is a big bike. So even though this would be considered, you know, kind of middle class for the adventure bikes, it's still a huge bike. And if you were to drop this thing off-road, depending on who you are, you might not be able to pick this up. If your main goal is to tour and do some off-road or some adventure riding, this would be a good pickup. And I did look at the prices of this.
base model is around 14, and the base for the new GS 1300 is around 18. I was told on the adventure models that the gas tanks are larger, so that would be another thing. And it looks like we're averaging 42 miles per gallon on this ride, which is not great, but it's not terrible for a bike this big.
Going pretty slow. Turn feels fine. Leaning a little, feels good. This bike is very solid. I feel very planted on this bike, not being pushed around at all. Not cramping up anywhere. My back is straight. The handlebars, they initially felt a little bit narrower, but while riding feel great. The dash in action, phenomenal, just like all the other BMW dashes I've seen so far. Suspension's good. Could ride like this for a couple hours. The mirrors, very good. They're a good size and they're good space apart from each other. I can see everything I want, and you can still adjust them.
Just finished up the test ride of the BMW F900GS Adventure, and it was a good bike. Plenty of power, plenty comfortable. A couple things I didn't like. The seat did start to be a little bit uncomfortable near the end of the test ride. The test ride lasted about 45 minutes. So the seat wasn't as comfortable as some of the other bikes here. The engine braking was good, not great. It was all right. The metal foot pegs with no rubber for the rider weren't the best. Every other bike here has rubber on the foot pegs, and those were better. The mirrors were fine. Handlebars were great. The Quick Shift Assist Pro was the best on this bike compared to any other bike that I've ridden. It was still all right. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it was better than some of the other ones I've ridden. Don't buy the bike for that specific feature. Just think of it as an add-on. If you want the bike, get it for other reasons, not that one. If you want to see my review on the GS 1300, click this video right here. If you want to see me test ride a bunch of other bikes, different sizes and different brands, click this playlist right here.
Rapping when they all want me to sing. But still they all want an album, so I gave them 20 singles.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a hit, that's why I swing.